welcome to another episode of RS Tech Talk. I'm your host, Miguel Gadino from RS Americas, and in today's episode, we have our special guests, Jay and Olaf, where we're going to be talking about their DRB series and their DUSH series. Now, before we get started, Jay and Olaf, can you go ahead and give a quick introduction to yourselves and your role and background at TDK Lambda?
Sure, thanks for having us, Miguel. I'm Jay Wichert with TDK Lambda Americas, based near here in Plano, Texas.
Awesome.
And I've been with TDK for a little over 3 years now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my name is Olaf. I'm visiting our entity here in Texas. Originally, I'm based in Germany.
Awesome.
I'm the head of product management for our DIN power supplies, and I joined TDK Lambda in 2019, so roughly 6 years now.
Awesome, awesome. Well, got someone local here, got someone from Germany here. Really different type of guest that we have here. First time we have someone from Germany, so awesome to hear that. Now, for the DRB series, let's go ahead and talk about that first. It's a little bit more simpler. Can you give us just a quick high-level overview and its main characteristics when it comes to that component?
Yes, sure. So the DRB on the left-hand side, as you can see, it's a three-phase input product. So there are 4 power ranges we are offering, 120 up to 960 watt. We have different models with different connector types, so screw terminals and push-in terminals. And as you can see there in the middle, a terminal for some signaling and control, like DC OK contact and an inhibit contact for remotely shutting on and off the products.
Okay.
That's basically what it is. It's very efficient. So as you can see, it's quite slim in size. So high power density, saves you space in the cabinet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that we've heard frequently about in the industry is efficiency and reliability, right? Which you kind of touched on with the DRB series. So could you elaborate on that efficiency level and what customers expect to see from the DRB series and what advantages it brings into in an industrial setting?
Yeah. So there is a lot of advantage of having a high efficiency. First of all, for the design engineer of the power supply, because he can build smaller, so he doesn't need so much heat to get rid of. And at the end, the product is, as you know, in a cabinet, in a closed cabinet, and it's emitting heat. So meaning it's stressing the whole system. And so you can imagine if there's less heat, the rest of the system is not stressed so much. And if you're having a cooling system for the cabinet, it needs to transfer out the heat of the cabinet.
Gotcha.
And you need to invest additional power to get this heat out of the system. And if you have an efficient power supply, you don't need to invest so much.
Too much, right. So sounds like you can trust the DRB when it comes to me, it sounds like increased lifespan, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a weak component inside. It's an electrolytic capacitor. This one is suffering from heat, and the less hot the system gets overall, the longer the capacitor stays alive, let's say like that.
Awesome. Well, when it comes to power supplies, you want to trust that reliability there, so really good to hear that. Now, one last thing I want to touch on. Can you give us a quick rundown on the specifications of the DRB series, just so our viewers could know a little bit more about the voltage input, current, power ratings, those type of things?
So, as I mentioned before, it's a range from 120 over 240 for 8960 watt. We are offering the typical 24 volts output. Beside that, there are models with 12 volts, 48 volts, and even up to 72 volts. So this is the offering, I would say, And recently, we will, or in short time, we will add another model which has a coated PCB, so for harsh environments.
Oh, higher temperature.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or polluted environments, let's say, with airborne gases,
Particles in the air. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Awesome to hear that. Yeah. Well, awesome hearing about the DRB series of functionality and specification. Really good point out, Olaf. Now, one thing I want to now focus on is on its companion, which is the DUSH series. I know the DUSH series is a little bit more complicated, so can you explain to us what is the primary function of the DUSH series and where does it fit in a power system?
So the primary function is to aid in any sort of loss or total loss or temporary loss in power, in your input power, for X amount of time. It works in conjunction with your input power as well as your battery backup as an uninterruptible power source.
Gotcha. Essentially, yeah, a backup power source.
Correct.
In case something
to aid if something brown out,
those type
goes
of things,
completely down, whatever it may be.
All right. And when it comes to UPS design, one thing that customers want is that flexibility and reliability, right? One thing I do want to touch on also is its technology, specifically its integrated DC-DC converter. How does this technology work, and what type of flexibility does it bring to the table?
So what that allows you to do is within the system or the application of your system, if you have a 12-volt battery backup system or 24-volt system or whatever the configuration may be, it allows you to have different voltages for the battery and for the application voltage.
Gotcha. And talking about flexibility, something I read upon the DUSH series, it could support a wide range of battery types. So can you explain these battery types and what benefits it brings to the customer?
So flexibility is a huge word with this product. It allows 4 different battery chemistry types. You have supercap, lithium, nickel, as well as lead acid battery that you're able to use. And with the intelligent software that it comes with and the ability to program in through a very user-friendly software program, you can choose which chemistry you're using and then the specs from the battery within the software, whatever it may be, and it creates an intelligent charging profile.
Okay, so really you create your own profile for whatever application. So that's why you were talking about the flexibility and just easy setup on that DUSH series. So really awesome to hear that it provides that type of functionality to our customers and viewers. Now, one last thing I want to question on the DUSH series is there any other features on this particular series? One thing I noticed was the battery health monitoring and the real-time statuses. So could you touch on that? So
in terms of monitoring, like I said, the software is very comprehensive. There's all different sort of monitoring parameters. It has different alarms that it will track. It has the ability to graph input voltages, output voltages, different functionalities of whatever you may need it to do. And then there's also, in conjunction with that, there's an optional battery temperature sensor that you can integrate through this plug right here through this unit. And that allows even more monitoring, and when it comes to battery health, temperature is very, very important. So
temperature compensated charging is also very important.
I see. Gotcha. All right, well, really great to hear all the functionality and flexibility when it comes to the DUSH series. Now that we covered both the DRB series and the DUSH series, let's go ahead and bring it together when it comes to integration. These two parts are part of a larger power system. So how do they typically integrate? And if there is other TDK products that go into this power system design?
So basically the integration is like you can interconnect almost every DIN rail power supply with the DUSH as long as it delivers an output voltage between 12 and 48 volts. So in that sense, the DUSH is the key, the switch in the middle, which is connected to the battery, and the power supply is actually running the load through the DUSH with 24 volts, 48 volts, whatever. And once there's a brownout, power down, the DUSH switches into battery mode.
Right, so I'll recognize that.
Keeps the application running. So.
Got it. And I did also see something about other add-ons like redundancy modules.
Exactly, yes.
So we have it's DBM, a DIN rail mount redundancy module that is available through TDK Lambda as well.
Got it. So even more reliability.
Correct. Yeah. We also have EMC, EMI filters as well that are DIN rail mountable. Yeah.
Complete power solution, pretty much.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, really great picture on TDK Lambda solution, especially when it comes to the DUSH and the DRB series. Now, that is all the questions I have for you. Now, before closing out, is there any last thoughts you want to let us know to our viewers?
I have one more last one on the DUSH 960. Something that's kind of important to note is the ability to what we call cold start the unit, and
Right.
what that is, it basically entails is it allows you to turn on your system as soon as this DUSH 960 unit senses battery voltage.
Okay.
Which and that can be important when in a lot of different applications.
Awesome.
Potentially.
Gotcha. So, again, thank you for going over that. Really appreciate your time on going over the DRB series, the DUSH series, and even other products from TDK Lambda. So, awesome to hear all about the full portfolio that you are able to offer. Now, hopefully our viewers learned a little bit more about how the DUSH series and the DRB series can enhance their power systems. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. Remember to check out TDK Lambda and RS for your next future power system design, and we'll catch you next time on the RS Tech Talk.